Oh my God, did I figure it out? Peace, can y'all see me? Sorry, I was eating. Can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? Let me know in the chat room if y'all can see me and if y'all can hear me. Oh my God. So let me just tell y'all. For one, there's a delay in the video. So my voice is going to be delayed, which I hate. Okay. Oh my God. Oh, this YouTube is so stressful. Oh my God. Okay. I finally figured it out. I figured out what I was doing wrong because YouTube would let me go straight from Google Hangouts to just talk to you guys where I didn't have to deal with all of the semantics. Um, don't worry about it, Mike, from that thing from November. Anyway, they changed their system around. We can't use Google Hangouts anymore, so now we have to pay for an outside service, which I paid for the outside service a couple of months ago, but it's been stressing me out trying to figure this out. So I figured it out now. It's all good. Woosah, Alhamdulillah, Ashe, and all that good stuff. What's good, y'all? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? Peace to everybody in the chat room. We're only on YouTube today so that I can simplify this process and so that I can focus on one screen and focus on one chat room and actually have a conversation with you guys. We're going to go for about 30 minutes here because I have to pick up my son from school. But like I said in the last video, I want to start doing live Q&As once a week on YouTube because the majority of my content is going to be my actual videos and different stuff is going to be on my Facebook channel, Alchemy Cipher with ZaZa Ali. You can get information on how to access that through my website, ZaZaAli.com, and the Linktree link below. And that is where I'm going to really be putting a lot of my time and energy into building that community up. So much love to everybody that's signed up so far. And I'm looking forward to that. I am getting ready to finish. I'm finishing the Toxic Femininity whole frequency video, which has been very popular, at least demanded in a popular sense. I am going to put that up in its totality on YouTube. And that is probably going to be the last video that I'm actually going to put up, full video that I'm going to put up on YouTube. All of the other content I'm going to be promoting my Facebook Alchemy Cipher with ZaZa Ali page, as well as the workshops and other stuff that I have going on. Let me just shout some people out from the chat room because I saw Oakland, California, and of course that automatically caught my attention. Peace and love to Ashley. Peace to Chloe. Peace to El Vacano. Mike Faze, what's good? Carlos, Chris G. Kenneth, peace, brother. How you doing? Kenneth, I believe you signed up for the Alchemy Cipher on Facebook, and we are going to have some dope energy and conversation and teaching and learning and energy and spiritual science in that group. So much love. Peace, Ricky. Peace, Strictly Hip Hop. What's good? Peace, Aries. Peace, Health Blog. I love you back. Peace King, 7 Trucker, Katie was good, Montoya Martin, Mike Lowry was good, Chin Beats, what's up, much love, Isha Williams, B Brown, Christopher 10K, 10X, excuse me, I'm assuming that's Nation of Islam language, Assalamu alaikum. Damone, peace and love to everybody in the chat room, what's good, how y'all doing, how y'all feeling? So, remember, peace, Nuasha. Yes, Queen. I remember. What's good, Naomi? My sister is in the Alchemy Cipher group on Facebook as well. Peace, Queen. How you doing? Lise, T. Lee Jones, Carlos Joe. What's everybody? What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Assalamu alaikum. Habari Ghani. Shalom. Islam. Peace and love. What's cracking? What's popping? Salute. All that good stuff. How y'all feeling? I'm doing really well. I've had a great day today. I've had a good week so far. and I'm feeling really good about everything that I have going on. Much love to everybody that has signed up for the workshop. Excuse me, remove the ceiling from your mind. I'm really excited about that. And let me just give you guys some brief information about that. That's going to be next Thursday, August the 8th. It's funny because I'm watching myself replay, but it's a lag. So I don't really like looking at myself on camera or hearing myself for that matter, but it's all good. So next Thursday, the 8th, we will be talking about lacking inspiration and motivation in life, low energy and all over the place mindset, and discovering your passion. We will have recommendations, solutions, and focus worksheets. So I'm going to give you guys a formula. If lacking in inspiration and motivation in life, or low energy, hold on, you guys, I'm moderating the chat room. And you know we got to stay sucker free. So let me just remove this person who seems to be obsessed with me. Join the club. Okay, cool. I'm going to give you a formula for how to navigate that and where to go from here. Lacking inspiration and motivation, low energy, all over the place. If you said to yourself, I'm all over the place, this workshop is for you. And then discovering your passion. So it's not just going to be me talking. We're going to actually have I'm going to do a presentation, and we're going to go over these particular instances, what the energy of it is, what the resonance of it is, and how to overcome that energy and that mindset. And then I'm going to provide you guys with some exercises that we will do during the workshop, as well as worksheets, and a formula for you to follow after the actual workshops. Peace and love to D Mills from Alabama. So sign up. You can click the link below. First 50 people is $19.95, and it will be $29.95 thereafter. That's next Thursday. It will be a live online workshop, and you'll also have access to the archive afterwards, as well as everything that we're going to be talking about and working on. Okay? Southern Style, you will not be blocked today because I am going to be moderating the chat room. Y'all keep us sucker free in the chat room. If I don't catch something, just hold me down. And we're going to have a good conversation, okay? So if you have any questions, type them in the chat room. If I miss it, I'll come back to you because I have a few questions that other people have already sent me that I want to address. So we will get to that first. My aunties are here from out of town, and they just pulled up in my driveway. So you're going to hear them when they come in. Maybe I'll have them say hi to you guys. Let me send her a text message real quick and let her know. Kim Anita. I hope she doesn't ring the doorbell. I have to get up and answer it. But anyway, this is live. This is real life. So any questions, put them in the chat room, and I will come back to you guys and answer it. But I'm going to get to these first questions first. Somebody in the chat room said, I'm all over the place. Then sign up for the workshop and let me help you manifest your highest and best self. It's what I talked about in the last video, y'all. It's time to go to the next level of this thing. And then also the Alchemy Cipher on Facebook. You can get information about that by clicking the link below as well. All of my programs, access to me, working with me in a one-on-one capacity, workbooks, ebooks, all this stuff that I put together to help you guys elevate in mind, body, and spirit is available. Just click the link below, and there we go. All right, so when she comes in, I'm gonna see if she'll speak to you guys. They're so silly. They're here from Oakland. All right, so one of the first questions I got, how do you deal with energy vampires? This was from a brother on Instagram, and one of the first things, in talking about self-accountability, right, is to internally do a observation of yourself and be honest with yourself about why you would be attracting people who are pulling on your energy or taking from your energy and not reciprocating that in the first place, right? So why am I attracting energy vampires first? I think that question should precede the other question, Because again, this is always about self-reflection and internal reflection and acknowledging why you are in a certain frequency and why you're not, right? So when you're dealing with energy vampires and attracting energy vampires, usually there's some sort of needy energy, right? Needy frequency underneath that's resonating within you underneath the surface, that sends off a signal, an energetic signal to other people, that you are here, uh, um, needing and energetically resonating on a frequency that says, "Come take advantage of me." Now, obviously, consciously, you're not saying that, but that's what the energetic language and message is, right? That you are sending off a signal. I've never been valued. I've never been appreciated. I've never really fully loved myself or had a proper sense of who I am. So I'm at the same time attracting people that will come and take from me, right? The real answer is, do you even want to deal with energy vampires in the first place? It's like asking, how can you, in a healthy way, navigate disease? You can't. You have to get rid of it. Hey, you guys. Y'all want to come say hi to my live? I had to tell them y'all was here visiting. This is Kim, y'all. There's a delay, but they'll see you. You'll come up. It's actually over here. This is Kim, y'all. She's here from Oakland. There you go.
Look at that.
Kim and Nita.
Hello.
So we're just here having a live Q&A conversation. Yeah, they just came from the mall, y'all. These are shopaholics. They come leave Oakland and come to Atlanta and come shopping. So that's my people, y'all. That's my family. They said, hey, y'all. So, do you want to make space for energy vampires in your life? You know what I'm saying? And then I always tell my clients and everybody that I work with and on all of my platforms, you have to learn how to be still. You have to learn how to calm yourself and know how to internally go within when there's too much energy fluctuating. And because I deal with a lot of energy in this public setting, right? It's internet forum. I work with clients. And then, you know, in my everyday life, I have to sometimes turn everything off and just go within. So, of course, as I always say, learning how to tap into your breath, learning how to cultivate your breath, which will calm your neurological system and which will help you to be centered and to be still, is extremely important. And then, you know, I was doing yoga today and I had Anita Baker playing in the background, and the music was just very calming, because it was, you know, I love the music, right? So just learning how to, knowing the things that you like. I like meditation music. I like Tibetan drums. I like African drums, right? Playing that music in the background to stimulate you and to calm you down. And then dealing with people from a space of calm and not chaos. When you deal with an energy vampire from a space of chaos, you become an energy vampire because like attracts life. Excuse me. So the first thing is, why am I attracting energy vampires in the first place? And then the second thing is, why am I making room for people who are depleting my energy? Why is this even a relationship in my life right now, right? And you can deal with people in life, because I know we have work, we have business, we have family. You can deal with people and still energetically give them 50 feet, right? So doing and saying and doing whatever needs to be done in order to keep a clean energy and to, you know, converse or to communicate. But at the same time, energetically making a decision that this is not somebody that I want to be a part of my energy and a part of my life. So energetically giving them 50 feet, still dealing with them in the mental realm, still dealing with them in the physical realm, but energetically giving them 50 feet. We're going to get more into that, you know, as I, in the Facebook group, we'll talk about this more in depth, and I'll lay out, you know, we'll be doing meditations and laying out actual methodologies, because I know this is something that a lot of people struggle with. But then also, you know, in the workshops and whatnot as well. Careful with your choice of words. Shopping, ZaZa. You know these haters lurking, how they'll spin and edit things. Okay, I'm gone. They were shopping. Second question. How do you how do you manifest positive energy when your spouse or partner's energy is very low? This is a good question. And this is actually something that I've had to help some of my clients navigate. Um, Again, when I work with people, when I work with clients, the first thing I ask them is, what are you resonating in the relationship? And they want to talk about the other person, right? Well, my wife this and my husband this, and she won't do this or she won't do that, or he's always doing this and he's always doing that. And I'm saying, well, okay, but let's put a pin in that for a second. What are you actually resonating? What are you bringing to the table in the relationship energetically, right? What are your expectations of your partner? Are you meeting those expectations within yourself, right? So always doing a self-analysis first. Do you bring positive energy into the relationship? Are you a vibrational high point in the relationship? You know what I'm saying? What is your focal point when you interact with this other person? Are you of sound mind as just an individual woman or man where you're putting your best foot forward for yourself, not just for the relationship, right? But literally for yourself. What is your daily focus? Are you living out your dreams? Are you manifesting your desires? Are you practicing or working on different spiritual practices? Do you actually enjoy your life? Are you working on cleaning up your diet? Are you the person that brings positive energy and light into the room? Or are you the person that might kind of just seep energy? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, do an internal appraisal on yourself. And that's where you start. Because obviously, if you're in a relationship with someone else, right, you can't just, if you could, you would already have done it, right? You can't just turn it off and say, okay, I'm out, especially if you're married. So you have to find a way in order to create a healthy climate in this environment, right? And the only person you actually have control of is yourself. So do an internal appraisal about yourself. Mentally, where am I? How strong am I? How would I rate myself, right? Emotionally, how strong am I? How would I rate myself? Am I healthy? Is my energy clean most of the time? Do I bring positive energy into the conversation, or am I still mad and upset about something that was done 3 years ago or 5 years ago, right? Physically, am I putting my best foot forward in the household? You know what I'm saying? And then spiritually. So mentally, spiritually, physically, and emotionally, do a self-analysis of yourself. I actually have a self-rating chart that I used in one of my worksheets where we gave an analysis of ourselves. We wrote down all of the different actually, I have it right here. We rated ourselves on a scale of 1 to 10. Physical health as far as dietary habits, emotional stability and clarity, mental clarity and educational goals, spiritual practice and goals, business, career, and self-employment goals, financial status, relationship status, family, friends, and social, relationship status, marriage, partnership, and companionship goals, and then overall confidence in life, right? So in taking doing a self-analysis of yourself, right? And then just focusing on cleaning yourself up in those different areas. Again, that's all you have control over. Now, depending on the type of communication you have with this person, instead of saying, I want you to do this with me, and if it is that type of relationship and they are receptive, then I absolutely bring them into the fold, right? But I'm assuming that that's not the case here because of the nature of the question. Then you just tell your partner, this is what I'm working on. I rated myself. I did a self-analysis. Here's where I feel like I'm not doing well. Here's where I feel like I am doing well. This is my goal over the next 30 days. Can you support me in this? Can you take a back seat, so to speak, energetically, if we have any disagreements or if there's anything that's happening between us that may cause some friction or some negative energy? Can you put that on the back burner in order for me to help? Because I'm trying to fine tune myself so I can be better for the relationship. Have that type of conversation. And that way you're not putting any expectations on them. You're not putting any pressure on them. It's not about them. They recognize that you're actually focusing on yourself. And in most cases, they will recognize that, they will appreciate that, and it'll probably help them to shift in their energy as well. And again, this is all stuff. If you sign up for one of the worksheets or the workshops or the Facebook page, we can have a more in-depth conversation about this, and we can help you a little bit more with contextualizing that and walking through that process. All right. I'm gonna go through some of the questions in the chat room. What are your thoughts about the idea that we are gods and goddesses, especially when one is operating at a low frequency? Women's drumming traditions worldwide. What's up? Peace, peace. Let me write that down. So I won't forget, because I know the chat room's going to move. If you guys ask questions and I miss it, just copy and paste it so that as I finish these questions, I'll be able to come back to you guys. Am I coming to Dallas soon? I don't have any, I'm not really traveling right now. I'm going to do a workshop in Atlanta in September, but I'm really focusing on my writing and putting out a couple of workbooks over the next coming months. So just stay tuned to my YouTube channel and my social media pages, and you'll be able to find out when I come to that area. If marriage doesn't work and women are just as bad as men, then does marriage make sense? Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Okay. Let's do that one first, and then I'll come back to the gods and goddesses low frequency. If marriage doesn't work and women are just as bad as men, then does marriage make sense? Well, the first problem is in the statement. Women are just as bad as men. Says who? Who says so? Where did that come from? Who made that so? You know what I mean? I think we have to refine our language. I don't think you should speak that into existence, because women aren't just as bad as men and men aren't just as bad as women. We are all, human beings trying to figure this thing out, making mistakes, trial and error. A lot of us have been through abuse and been through a lot of pain, dysfunctional families. There's a lot of layers to the problems that human beings actually have. But I don't think we should adopt this mindset that men are just as bad as women, or vice versa, right? I think that we need to focus on the best part, because what you continually think and what you continually emote with your emotions or feel is what you will actually attract. So if you think to yourself, there are good men out here, which I believe, which I know, or there are good women out here, which I believe and I know. And if you want to actually be married, then let that be your focus. Don't focus on the lack or the negativity. Focus on what you actually desire to create in your world. This is when I talk about being a vibrational being, being an electromagnetic being, we're not just here kind of going through life and figuring this thing out as we go. We are, but we're also, the universe is mirroring to us whatever we are, right? So whatever you're becoming is what you're going to attract. Whatever you are right now is what you're going to attract. So if you say, I don't believe in marriage because there's no positive relationships out here, or there's no good men out here, or there's no good women out here, that's the type of relationship that you're going to attract. One that verifies and validates your opinion. So you have to be very careful about your language, very careful about how you view relationships. And if you don't have anything positive to feed on or to nurture, or any positive examples around you, then don't focus on relationships. Focus on nature, focus on business, focus on culture, right? Focus on other things that bring your vibration up, that help you to cultivate a healthy energy and a proper connection and relationship with humanity. One of the biggest issues that I think we have is that when we focus on the male-female dynamic, we only focus on relationships, right? Who you're involved with, who your boyfriend is, who your girlfriend is, who your man is, who your ex-girlfriend is, who you're married to. We've got to start looking at, and this is why I talk a lot about this whole male-female dichotomy now, right? Because we've got to start looking at the opposite sex, whether you're a man or a woman, with more compassionate and positive vantage point, right? And we all have men in our life, hopefully, that even if we're not involved in relationships, that we can look to that aspire us. I'm single, right? I get asked that a lot, so now I'm answering it for you guys on YouTube. But I have good men in my life that look out for me, that I know if I need help or if I need something or if I need to talk or whatever, that I can call and reach out to. So there's no reason for me to be a bitter woman or to have any sort of negative connotation when I talk about relationships because I'm single, right? I know really good men that I have a lot of respect for. And if you don't know any, then go online and watch men that are active in the community, that are active in your particular religion, that are active in different organizations, that are teachers, right? We have had so many great minds. Les Brown, Michael Beckwith, what's the brother's name? Nuri Muhammad. There's a lot of positive role models online that we can look to just to get masculine energy. And that's something that I really like to tell women, that sometimes, because a lot of women are scared to be single. First of all, you need to learn how to be by yourself. But then, sometimes we just, as women, want masculine energy. We want a man's perspective. We want his, maybe spend time, be around them, get a man's feedback on things that are happening in our life. Come change my tire, you know what I'm saying? Or fix my window or whatever. It's not always a case where we need to be actually physically involved with a man. So just starting to change the trajectory of how we look at relationships, and as women, how we look at men, and starting to appreciate them more from a mindset of empathy and compassion than what can you do for me or what can you not do for me, or are you going to hurt me? You know what I mean? Like being a little bit more open-ended and open-hearted with how we look at men. So I hope I answered your question. The language denotes lack. The language denotes low vibration, and the language will actually attract exactly what you are afraid of, right? So just change the language. And if you don't believe it, then don't talk about it, right? And focus on things that you actually believe in, that make you feel good about life, that make you feel good about who you are. And then you'll start to attract better people, better experiences, etc. Okay? I'm going to save the question about gods and goddesses for last because I want to close on that because that's a great question. So let me go back through and find some more questions. What role does consciousness, Monk asked this, or Monk, what role does consciousness and self-actualization play in becoming our best selves, and is it necessary? I'm wondering, is that a trick question? Let me read that again. What role does consciousness and self-actualization play in becoming our best selves, and is it necessary? You can't become your best self without consciousness and self-actualization. The two are not mutually exclusive. They are the same thing, right? So there are people in this society, there are a lot of layers to humanity, and there are a lot of layers and levels of consciousness. If think about the political arena right now, what's happening with the elections. For some people, what's this particular election that's coming up, they feel like that's going to determine and dictate what happens in their life for the next 8 years, right? They're fearful, or they are highly invested, energetically invested. And then for some people, it doesn't matter who gets elected because life is going to do what it's supposed to do anyway. So there's layers and levels of consciousness, but consciousness is everything. And then your level of consciousness is what leads to self-actualization, which manifests your best self. I hope I answered that correctly. And if you want to clarify the question a little bit, let me know. What do y'all think about the UK ban on Tariq? I don't think anything about that. Let's see. Hey, aunties. Somebody just sent a super chat. Thanks, Kenneth. Peace and love. I appreciate you. What are your thoughts on the Second Amendment and gun ownership in our community? I think the law is the law. You know, I think there's two answers. There's an answer from a physical perspective, and then there's an answer from a spiritual perspective, right? Most people, particularly in our community, don't respect the spiritual world, so to speak. That's where I play. That's where I live. But the physical answer is you should protect yourself. You should, be prepared to protect yourself in the community, especially if you live in if you live in an environment that is or could be detrimental, to your well-being. Yeah, and I don't advocate or am against it either way. I think to each his own. If you want to be a gun owner and that's your particular preference, then by all means you should have the right to. And if you don't want to be a gun owner, then by all rights you should have the right to not do that. That's the physical aspect of it. From a spiritual perspective, anytime you bring weapons into the fold, as far as, worrying about protecting yourself will attract situations where you will have to protect yourself. Fearing the environment that you live in will bring about a circumstance that will cultivate and manifest what you originally feared in the first place, right? So, Women's Drumming said, if all women were armed, we wouldn't be raped. There's, all women aren't being raped though. You know what I'm saying? So, again, this is an energetic, everything is energy. So, I don't know. I think people should be able to do as they please as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else. I will say, Georgia's an open carry law, state. It changes the energy in the room when somebody walks in with a gun on their hip. It does. Like there's a shift in the energy in the room when that presence is felt. It's not the person, it's the actual gun, right? So again, dealing with frequency and vibration, it's something to be mindful of. I also remember Dick Gregory saying that most police officers are violent or have a tendency to violence because they carry guns on their hip, and because of the lead in the guns and in the bullet, that it is actually making them predisposed to being violent. And of course, I talked about this in my book, The Science of Self, the first volume, about the connection between lead and the connection between high rates of violence in our community. So Chicago, Oakland, New York, right? All of these cities that have tested for high levels of lead in the water, these are all cities that have very high levels of lead. For more information about that, get my first book, Black Matters. But yeah, that's what I think about it. What books do you recommend to start reading for someone like myself who is seeking spiritual enlightenment? I would say The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy, and The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. Those will be a good place to start. Do you own a firearm? I would never publicly say whether or not I own um, a firearm. I love you guys too. Okay, so I'm going to. I'm just scrolling back, making sure I didn't miss anything. I think I did miss a couple of questions, but I don't know how to go back. I don't want to go all the way back. Um, if you put a question in and I missed it, just go ahead and copy and paste it and drop it into my and drop it real quick, and I'll go ahead and answer that question before about the gods and goddesses. So, as a student of history, when you go back and look at all of the indigenous civilizations, whether it was in Kemet, um, the Orishas, the Netters, um, native traditions, and indigenous civilizations, excuse me, they all abided by the context of many gods, one creator, right? So, from that perspective, and also what I know of universal laws and how energy and vibration works, yes, but it's levels to it, right? So you can be a low vibrational being, or what some people would call a devil, or have a demonic or a devilish type of energy, right? And that will be the bane of your existence while you're here if you continue to manifest and to resonate on that frequency. That's the type of experience that you'll have here. If you have a propensity for positivity, if you think, expect good expectations, expect the best out of people, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, there's levels to that. You don't have to be happy go lucky all the time, but just have a propensity for positive energy or high expectations. That's the type of experience that you're going to have while you're here. Now, for most of us, we fall somewhere in the middle of that, right? Some of us start out, with uh, difficult upbringings, difficult family situations, pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, figure it out, and end up making something out of our lives. In the big scheme of things, right? And then some people have it made in the beginning, access to money, access to fame, and don't really have anything to aspire to, and so they live out their lives in mediocrity, rich but mediocre. You know what I'm saying? So all of us are here having an experience. I'll tell you how I've heard it explained from different teachers and what resonates with me. That the creator is actually experiencing the universe, experiencing humanity, experiencing the physical realm through animals, through trees, through everything, right? That's the point of this physical realm for the creator, consciousness, divine mind, whatever you want to call it, to actually experience this world from a physical sense. Now, in certain Kemetic teachings, I've heard it said that you come here for a number of lifetimes to experience everything, right? So you're going to be here in the physical realm as every different thing that you can, as far as nature, as far as animals, as far as plant life, as far as a human being, right? In order to have the full experience. And then once your soul grows through all of these different transitions, then you reach the highest height of the physical realm and you actually become a star in the sky, right? That's one explanation. But I resonate with the idea that we are here, that consciousness, that divine energy, that divine mind is actually experiencing this realm and this world in a physical nature through us. Expanding consciousness, expanding creation, expanding God, right? So from that perspective, the low vibration matters, the high vibration matters, the devilish matters, and we like to, people, I don't think that just positivity is a reflection of God, because all of it in its fullness is the full creation, right? A lion is a beautiful animal, but a lion is extremely deadly. You know what I'm saying? And will kill its prey in order to feed itself and the pride. So there's always layers to there's always layers to it. But I hope I answered the question. Yes, the Science of Self book is still available. You can get it on my website immediately, right now. All right. Much love to you guys for your attention. I think that was a good short talk. I answered all of your questions. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see everybody that signs up for the workshop next Thursday. I'll see you guys next Thursday. I'm looking forward to that. The Alchemy Cipher and Facebook group is going to be dope, so make sure check out for that. And I'll see you guys soon. All right, peace and love.